Hey everyone, it's Susan here. I'm working in my journaling Bible and I am focusing on Colossians 3:15. This morning, I just really felt that I needed to find some scripture to focus on today that had to do with patience and something that I could read, and it would just help me in the area of patience. So I went to Colossians 3:15, but even a little bit before that, like verse 12, it talks about as God's chosen ones, that we are holy and beloved, that we have compassionate hearts, and we have kindness, and humility, and meekness, and patience, bearing with one another. And then verse 15, and let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in one body, and be thankful. So my main focus is that the first part of verse 15, and let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Because once we do that, then all of those other things just automatically come. So we would automatically have compassionate hearts. Um, we would have kindness, humility, meekness, patience. It just comes when we let the peace of Christ rule in our hearts. So it was the perfect verse for me, and that is what I ended up working with today. So first you can see I drew that flower with a micron pen. Now I have some Hero Arts bubblegum shade of ink with my makeup sponge. And these hearts are old Heidi Swapp embellishments. And as I was cleaning out my house, I've been really going through my stash of, all of my art stuff, my scrapbooking stuff, my collage stuff. I've thrown bags of stuff away, and I have moved, like I'm trying to consolidate it, and I've moved a lot of it down into my basement where I have some big racks down there. And little by little, I'm getting stuff done. And I found these. And I'm like, well, I almost threw them out. I almost got rid of them. And I decided, well, I can use these as stencils. I have the hearts, I have some stars, and I have some arrows. I'm like, well, that's really cool. I mean, they're plastic. I even have ones from the Luxe, what is it, Pink Paisley Luxe collection, Luxe. And so I decided to use them and keep them and use them as stencils. So now I have my Neocolor 2, which is a watercolor crayon. So they react with water. I decided I want to use different shades of blue. And you'll see that I go ahead and I'm just going to use my watercolor brush and pick up the color with the brush on the outside of the crayon. It was a little bit hard to do, and I'm thinking because I really haven't used these crayons, I don't think, in about 15 months. If I did, I really don't remember, and it was a little bit hard to get the color up off of the actual crayon. So I struggled a little bit with that. And at one point I thought, well, let me even kind of like shave like the edges off, thinking that like inside it might be softer and I could pick up the color better. I didn't end up doing that. You'll see what I do in a few minutes, but like I had an aha moment. It's like, really? How? You'll see. It's like, I don't know. But I do like this. I mean, I totally enjoyed coloring the flower this way. So I just keep on plugging along, and this particular crayon was even harder than the first one. And then the third crayon that I used was the hardest of them all. So, but I got through it. It just took a little bit longer than I would have wanted it to. But I do like the shades of the colors. Although this particular shade of blue, look at how dark the actual crayon is. That's a dark blue. I mean, that is dark. Yet the color that actually came out onto the flower's petals was much, much, much lighter. It's okay. I mean, it's fine. I like it, except I was really thinking that I was going to get a really dark blue. Now, mind you, it's, kind of diluted because I'm using water and, just the way I'm doing it. But still, I would have imagined that that color would be a totally different color than it was. But I do like it, and I continue along. You can definitely see the 3 different shades of blue that I have right there. Then I decided I want to pull in just a little bit of yellow and some oranges. So now the light bulb went off in this head of mine. I'm like, why the heck don't I just use the crayons the way that they were intended to be used? And just put them right on the paper. And then, and I love doing this, you take the watercolor brush, any brush that you have. It doesn't have to be, a watercolor brush, but watch this. Look at the color. As I'm blending that color, it just pops. The color just, it's beautiful. So, so, so beautiful. And this is like really fun to do. Really fun. Look at how gorgeous that color is. And then I wanted to pull in a little bit of a deeper color, a deeper orange. And I didn't find the exact color orange that I wanted, but I went with this one. And I loved it. Just watch. Just watch. So as you can see, I'm not being real careful at all how I get the color down. I'm just trying to stay within the lines. And it doesn't matter because as soon as the water hits it, since it's water soluble, it just blends beautifully. And look at that orange pop. Look at the color. Oh my goodness. I just love it. I just love, 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 love. Look at how pretty. So the colors are gorgeous on the flower at this point. And I'm going to add just a little bit more. So I like that. I'm happy with that. But I wanted to pull in some deeper colors. So I pulled out my Clean Color Real Brush Pens made by Zig. I pulled out several colors of blue, but before I put it on, I'm just going to, hit that flower a little bit with the heat tool just to make sure it's dry enough. And it was plenty dry. And all I'm doing is like at the bottom of or the inside of the petals, I'm putting the deeper blue. And as soon as I put it down, I'm just taking my finger really quickly and just doing a quick smear or a quick blend. Watch. See, just real quick. And all it does is it softens it up, right? So it just makes the blue from this, from the Zig brush, just a little bit softer. And I like the look of that very, very much. So I'm just going to take that around to, different petals and get that on there. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm taking this other shade of blue and just giving the other petals a little bit different definition. And I like that. I like all the different shades of blues going on right there. And I actually like that very, very, very much. And now I pulled out some yellows and oranges, and you'll see just again giving a little bit more definition to these petals, and that zig brush is the shade of it is just a little bit darker in orange than the neo colors. And the same with this, it's just a little shade darker, just enough to where you can see it, and you can see that that flower now has a little bit more interest going on. And I like it a lot, and I'm going to hold it up for you to see closer. All right, so zoom out a little bit there. And now I'm going to write that, the first part of verse 15. Again, it reads, "And let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts." At first I was going to write it, you saw, like horizontal. But then I'm like, well, I want it to be big, not all of it, but especially the word hearts, since that's really what I'm focusing on. It's you know, yeah, the verse, the abundance of your heart makes your mouth speak. Well, it's important what's in our hearts. So I want to make sure that my heart is I want to say full with what it needs to be full with, so to speak. And I'm taking that micron pen again, and I'm just writing the scripture, just trying to figure out the placement of all the words. And then I couldn't figure out, how I was going to write hearts, and I ended up just writing it in script. So I do go ahead and I date this page, and I'm very happy with it. I'm going to hold it up, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed. God bless.